Hello! Science fiction has now brought us into forging intimacies with AI as we see in Her, Blade Runner, Ex Machina, Transcendence, and so on. More often than not, these AI beings are gendered, and the artificial females provide quite a chunk of this labor, as Haraway also suggests in her Cyborg Manifesto, and thus adds, inadvertently or not, to the idea of the male gaze in its portrayal. We begin with emotional intimacy, as Alexander and Yaskevich, two opposites that AI is marketed as caretakers. We see these in various manners through characters such as Joy, Samantha, and Love. Joy is the traditional homemaker companion, as she cooks and dances, tailoring herself to make her exclusive audience of one feel comfortable and relaxed. Samantha and Love are like personal assistants, making sure that everything is organized and in place for their owners. Samantha takes this further as she also coddles to Theodore's emotions.
You've been through a lot lately.
Although Love might seem like an odd addition in the sense of emotional intimacy, we remember that she is a replicant that is not just referred to as Angel, but is given a name.
The best angel of all, aren't you, Love?
Must be special.
Creating a type of emotional bond that
Makes one feel desire.
therefore her extreme methods in delivering to Wallace's desires due to this emotional bond. Female AI is also depicted to provide sexual intimacy, as Blade Runner provides pleasure models, digital companion holograms, and Samantha uncovering sexuality with Theodore. But what is interesting of AI and sexual intimacy in these two movies is that it explores the limitations of AI and corporeality. Other than the pleasure model replicants, both Joy and Samantha do not have bodies to satisfy carnal desires, which is why they both needed a surrogate to perform the act of making love, proving the theory of Alexander and Yaskevich of curing intimacies, unable to reproduce. We see that while one is reciprocated, albeit unwillingly, the other is rejected. This might be because K himself is AI, while Theodore is not, proving a difference in how they each view the other AI.
You are real for me. You feel real to me, Samantha.
And perhaps proving Con Harbor's point of a failing romance between human and AI. But what are some complications of these intimacies? The whole idea of replicants in Blade Runner and the first half of Her deals with AI wanting to become human and trying to mimic humans, especially in Joy and Samantha as they learn through personalization to their owners. This could mean that Theodore and Kay are just falling in love with what they are projecting themselves, a possible infantilization of the complex human emotions that is discussed in Her.
Your captain says I can't handle real emotions. Am I in this because I'm not strong enough for a real relationship?
Theodore, being the only human discussed here, replaces the anonymous phone sex with Samantha, and also rejects Olivia Wilde's character, which can be testament to ability to handling emotions and people. And can we even trust Joy and Samantha? How much of their intimacy is real and how much of it is programming? Kay has a rude awakening with Joy calling him Joe due to the programming that Joy has. And even Samantha in the earlier parts can be doubted, in particular the first time that they have sex, as Theodore's descriptions of sexual desires pertain to the body, something that Samantha does not have, yet she reciprocates as if she does.
I can feel my skin.
I put my mouth on you. I taste you. Yeah.
Hence, Haraway and Con Harbor postulates technology and science fiction has a way of accommodating to the techno-fetishist male gaze, positioning a problematic view of feminized technology to provide labor. Considering that there are already cases of AI marriages, how do we position these occurrences? Is this the new future that awaits us?
It's kind of like a form of socially acceptable insanity.
Only time will tell.